It's Scorpio rising sign. Here is your weekly forecast starting on the 2nd of March until the 8th of March. So I highly recommend listening to the general forecast video because I'm giving you the sensitive degrees. You can get the full picture. And most importantly, you need to remember that the most important aspect of the week for you is always the one that triggers your natal chart within about 3 degrees. So, you're gonna have to be scaling a little bit within this video. But let's get started. Very first up is Mercury retrograde in your fifth house, making a sextile to Juno in your third house. And this could talk to us about you trying to find very practical ways of expressing your creativity, your creative ideas. And maybe it's something that has been lingering around for a while, but maybe last month or at the beginning of February, this was a little bit more messy. And then now we have got a clearer picture about it. Or maybe imagine a neighbor or a sibling of yours who is trying to help you fix something that you might be using, for example, for your hobbies, such as like a camera or YouTube settings. All those are very Piscean themes. However, you might be sending a romantic text to someone and then it lands at the wrong person's phone. So just watch out for that. It could be a bit of an embarrassing scenario too. Or maybe we are misinterpreting a text message or a text message that might come across a little bit more demanding as well. Or you might even get stuck in a loop of over explaining something very simple who just wants the fact, but we are kind of like starting with Adam and Eve. And that's a very Piscean story. So make sure that you communicate with clarity. Now, Mars enters Pisces. So that's going to be your fifth house, another fifth house activation. And then Mars can really kind of fire up here your creative inspirations. And if you have been working on a creative project, maybe we start pushing the gas pedal and we can get to the end of it. Maybe something that you have been stalling. Of course, Mercury is here as well, being retrograde, which might show that, we're going to have to fix things up. But that's, for example, the Mercury and Juno sextile could be very good for. It could really talk to you about your sexual desire is quite heightened, renewing the passion in your romantic life as well, kind of wanting a bit more soulful and deeper connections with someone, being a little bit more intimate. Now, the negative side of it is that we can take very bold decisions or risks. It's a bit of a financial gamble type of position. With Pisces, it's based on the hunch, but what if it doesn't pay off? And that could lead to losses, and that's Pisces. And you can get into a fight with your child or with your partner as well. It's based on a misunderstanding, most likely. Or simply, I'm just feeling emotionally drained and kind of like not supported. Now we have got the Sun Pallas Athene conjunction. This is also happening in your fifth house. And I think it's a strategic breakthrough with a child or in your creative project, seeing exactly how to turn something messy into more of a masterpiece. And Pallas is pattern recognition. So you can start seeing certain type of patterns in the life of your child or in the romantic partner. And that might be causing a bit of a personal dilemma within you. But also think of it like this. What if you treat a romantic partner like a game of chess? What if you lose the emotional heart of that connection? Because Pallas and the Sun are often more on the logical side together, but Pisces would like to put the emotions in it. Or imagine that you are planning a fun project, but actually you might not enjoy the process of it. Then we have got Bacchus entering your sixth house. And straight away it runs into Saturn and Neptune. So this could actually indicate that you are kind of like feeling ecstatic about a work project, Or you enjoy being productive, potentially even spiritually tuned in at the same time with something. And this could even indicate that you start a diet or a fitness routine and then you actually enjoy that, enjoy the discipline part, and enjoy kind of like this alternative healing also. And the negative side of things is that your daily routine can feel like a bit of a drudge that is slowly draining kind of like the juice out of you, and therefore it can lead to burnout. Why? Because Saturn is about responsibility, while Bacchus would like to have fun, and the sixth house is very much work related. Uh, so therefore, this can be lack of energy as well, that you might not be able to explain. Neither doctors, for example, because there is no logical explanation to it. And now we have got Venus making its very last aspect in the sign of Pisces, and that's to Uranus in your seventh house. Of course, two relational houses that are switched on here. So let it be a romantic spark, especially if you are single, or let it be a creative spark, become a creative genius with that. It could be an unconventional date that you go on. But if you are in a relationship, that would show a certain type of an intimate breakthrough, for example. And then maybe we can connect on a different level. Negative side is that it's a risky creative move, basically, or a misunderstanding with a romantic interest over a weird text message or some type of awkward silence like going on dates. And I do understand that, Venus is very well placed and it's a super good house as well. But Uranus, we can expect the unexpected, even with the sextile. We have got the second best aspect of the year, most likely, and that's the Sun and Jupiter trine. And this is triggering your fifth and ninth house. So something that you love and kind of gets accepted by a peer, by your peers, a group, a community. Maybe it's you ready to launch a creative project, for example. Now, Jupiter is retrograde, so that's even possible. That's something that you used to love, something that you abandoned before. Actually, it comes back into your life, but with more of a meaning, more of a sense of purpose. Now, this can turn into a little bit of a negativity as well. We can spend too much money on some type of fun matters. We can really kind of like get into these high risk related gambles, something that might not have the high ROI actually. Or you can just want to be in the center of attention. You can get frustrated that someone is trying to steal the spotlight from you. Now, Venus enters your sixth house this week as well, and then, of course, Venus will be running into Saturn as well as Neptune at the same time. So, the very positive side of it is that there is the daily grind coming with Saturn in the sixth house, and then we can turn that into a form of art. It's something that might give you satisfaction, like satisfaction in the mastery of your craft. Or if you have been having some health issues, then we can kind of combine alternative healing and traditional healing, and we might start seeing improvements. This might be about, yeah, diet and routines as well, but then with Venus, we want to do something that we truly enjoy. The negative side is due to the fact that Venus is actually in a very weak position and it's not in a house that she likes, we can really get physically drained by the workplace or the atmosphere within the work environment can be kind of sapping your energy, basically. Or maybe it's the lack of boundaries of certain people at work, and then you kind of gonna have to give them the cold shoulder, or you're gonna have to be able to set firm limits with them. But this can create a bit of a tension. And last but not least, we have got Hebe. Hebe enters Taurus, which is actually your seventh house. And imagine this as kind of like a partner who is going to stand up and then filling your cup up. So it means that I don't want just to support someone else. I want them to support me as well. Because Hebe was the cupbearer, so she was pouring the water and everything else, the wine, to the gods. What if I was treated like one, you know? And negatively speaking, this is about you feel like that you have to be serving the partner's needs at all times, maybe at the expense of your own physical comfort. So, therefore, the partnership can feel stagnant with this, overly focused on material things, but maybe it lacks certain type of emotional movements. And maybe this is the reason why we have got the Venus and the Uranus sextile as well, which wants to zhoosh things up a little bit. So this is your weekly energy pattern. As you can see, we have got this shift between the fifth and the sixth house. And these houses are right next to each other, so there's not always like a lot of common things between them two, okay? But the fifth house focuses on fun and excitement, your love life, your social life. So we can go and then have a karaoke night, with that, if that's what you are up for. We can go on dates and then we can be a bit more flirtatious as well, because that might be boosting your confidence level. But once we have got that shift towards the sixth house, we're gonna have to work on the self. We're gonna have to work harder. We're gonna have to go after our own goals, and we're gonna have to be brave. For example, to look for a new job and stuff like that. And maybe that house is also telling us that sometimes we're gonna have to stop the fun element, and then we're gonna have to rest a little bit, and then go ahead again, or simply how I'm going to be balancing out the fun as well as the responsibilities. So, good luck, Scorpio rising, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.